Jesus Christ, good Lord, goddamn, it's One Piece, it's back. Hello, YouTube audience. The difference here is that we are streaming this. You wouldn't even know, though, unless I told you, except for the fact that David's here. Say hi, David, and then never talk again in this entire fucking
Twitch.tv/Control Chaos Studios.
And then for the last couple months of OnlyFans, you want to plug that?
No more sexy.
Nah, I'm moving my shit to Slansley, okay?
Hell yeah. All right, now leave us.
Leave us to fuck.
You can just talk in the chat. Hey, Thurman, it's been a while, brother.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm better, not suicidal and not, wanting to isolate myself as much as I used to. But everything
Not
is great.
suicidal anymore.
Yes, anymore.
Very nice. So
One Piece.
I wanted to check real quick. I was very curious what the last chapter that we reviewed was. So I'm going back to our channel. I want you to guess, Thurman. What do you think?
It's been a minute.
It's been a fucking minute, yes.
I want to say,
because we're on 1022 right now.
I would probably say the last chapter was the reveal that the gum fruit was stolen.
No, sir. We didn't even get there.
Oh, shit.
The last one we reviewed was when it looked like Kienmon died. It was 1015.
Holy shit.
From 2 months ago, yeah.
We haven't reviewed One Piece in 2 months.
Yes, sir.
Damn.
I know, right? So we got... Obviously, we're just going to jump around and talk about different shows.
Yeah, it's gonna be like what we liked about it, stuff. Like, it's not really going to be like a full review per se. It's just a catch-up.
So let's jump around. What do you want to start with?
I want to start with what I just talked about, actually, the gum fruit.
Bruh.
So the gum fruit was stolen by Shanks? ?
Oh yeah, not even question mark. I mean, like, because okay, so what we know about that when it was stated, I went and looked at a bunch of different stuff. It was talked about in like the Vivery card data book things, SBS's stuff like that. That Lucky Roo specifically, the guy with like the big hunk of meat, the fat guy on Shanks's crew. Yeah. Lucky Roo specifically is the one that stole it from the ship. So basically, it's implied that the Shanks crew, the red hair crew, they went onto this ship that was guarded by Who's Who and probably a bunch of other CP9 people, and just wiped the floor and took this fruit. Now, the big question is that we don't get confirmed is, you gotta assume that it was important, right? And that's what people are worried about, because it does kind of come off as like one of those, oh shit, is this now like a really important devil fruit, some Naruto child of prophecy shit. I'm hoping, I have trust in Oda that he won't go there, but it is interesting because like, where can Oda take this? Because it is pretty heavily implied that now that kind of makes the Gomu Gomu no Mi pretty important, because think about it, right? People brought this up too. Rob Lucci, hold on, I'm gonna lay on my stomach because I'm uncomfortable. Rob Lucci fucking, oh geez, I gotta make sure, I'm gonna tilt the camera up so my ass doesn't show. There's so much going on here.
You're the one that wanted face cam.
Yeah, and then I regretted it, but yeah, anyway, but look at Thurman, he's vibing. If you want to see this delicious face cam, YouTube audience, you better go watch the archive on our Twitch. On our Twitch. Okay, so Rob fucking Lucci. Think about what happened in CP9, right? The Buster call, the fucking everything. That was a total failure, that mission, and they still didn't fire him. He was not fired. He is now part of CP0, right? But then Who's Who loses a single fucking fruit, and they're like, get the fuck out, right? So, like, that implies that fruit was, like, stupid powerful. Or if not powerful, some people have theorized that, like, maybe it was, like, Joy Boy's fruit back in the day. There's some significance to it, is what seems to be the case here.
That makes sense, because you have to remember that Im-sama also had a giant straw hat that we saw.
There's some reincarnation shit going on, I think, which is unfortunate because I'm really not super vibing with that. But
because I mean, I still have faith in Oda, but in my mind, I feel like the route he could go, it was like all coincidence accidents thing. Because my thing is, it's just like like. Because I want to say we've seen this before, but at the same time, not really. Like, I know like lost fruit was really, really important just because of the fact that you could grant somebody immortality with it, but Law was never supposed to have it. So I think it's that situation, right? The Gum Gum, like for the Gum Gumuni has a specific power that, like, the way it can be used can, like, not necessarily like achieve the same thing as like immortality, but like it's used to get a certain item or used to do a certain thing that's important.
Yeah,
and so like
I like that
to
idea.
do that. Because I mean, it's the same. I think it's the same way with lost fruit, right? Law isn't important by any means, right? But it's just like the fruit itself is the most important thing because Doffy wanted it for immortality reasons, right? And a lot of people did. Well, Kaido I think did. But either way, like that fruit was important just because at the cost of a user's life, you can grant immortality, right? So like it could be seen as the same thing. Like maybe the Gomono fruit has something to do with, you know, like the Straw Hat, or like if like maybe like if you learn awakening with the fruit, you know, you can achieve something, or you can like do something. So I don't know.
May I jump in? I see what you're going with, and I like some of those ideas. One of the only concerns and that people have brought up is that throughout the entire series, like with Law's fruit, ever since it was introduced, people were like, oh, that's a crazy fruit. That shit's powerful. Blah, blah, blah. But with Luffy's fruit, people that should know better, you know what I mean? Like Crocodile, government agents, people at Marineford. No one was ever like, oh my God, he has the Gum Gum fruit, right? Like, think about all the characters. You don't think like Whitebeard would be like, oh my God, he has the Gum Gum fruit. That's the fruit of legend. You know, all the people he's met. Rayleigh, like all the people he's met, and no one was like, whoa. So Oda's got a lot to do to make this make sense. Because Oda is, you know, he's the foreshadowing god. So if there's, you know, there's a lot, he's got a higher standard to kind of come to here. I like the idea of like, you know, maybe it's like, I don't know, you said, you know, maybe you need it to like achieve something. When you said that, I thought of like, remember in Avatar: The Last Airbender, you remember how only airbenders could open that like airbending door, and like you had to get air. Yeah, like maybe there's like some fucking something at Raft Hill specifically, maybe it was like built by Joy Boy, who had like the Gum Gum fruit, and like in order to open this door you have to be able to stretch, or I don't even, you know what I mean? Like something stupid like that maybe. But like go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You know, I hope that Oda's able to do it in a clever way, because I think that one of the things I've always liked about One Piece, like, okay, so let's go through Naruto and Bleach. Naruto, surprise, he's like the child of a god or an alien god. I don't even know what the fuck happened with Naruto. And then of course you have Bleach, where Ichigo is like the David, you want to say it with me now? The product of the best orgy of all time. Let's go.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, he's a Quincy, he's a Fullbringer, he's a fucking Hollow. He's
just a cum rag. Just call him what he is.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. Ichigo's mom and dad met, and then Aizen was back there, like artificially, like inserting like other shit into the fetus. Like, it's a lot of shit going on. But point being, right? I always liked that Luffy seemed to be like the guy, like he's just a dude who got like a standard run-of-the-mill random like bullshit devil fruit. Like from the very beginning it's like, what? That's stupid, you know what I mean? And then he made it work. That's what made Luffy so kind of cool to me, is that like this, by all accounts, should not be a good devil fruit. It's just the power to be stretchy, but because he's smart and clever, he made it work. You know, I don't want it to be retroactively like super important. So I trust Oda. I do trust Oda. I just hope he does it well, because I don't want. Go ahead.
I mean, another thing I could see it happening is like a Sanji situation where he wanted the fruit for like his own personal reasons, right? Because at first in Thriller Bark, I don't know how it was in the manga, but in the
like
anime,
one of the Celestial Dragons wanted like a really big stretchy cock or something.
Yeah, like because my headcanon would be like, oh, because you know Sanji, Sanji is he was pissed. He was like, "Fuck, I really want that fruit." Like we were like, "What the fuck?" Sanji wanted fruit.
I love that.
Like, what was the reason for it? We thought it had like huge plot significance. No, he just wanted to see women naked. Simple, right? So it could be something like that, like something very simple, like, "Oh, I really want that fruit for my own personal reasons," but Luffy had it first. Because remember, Luffy ate that fruit by accident. He wasn't supposed to eat that fruit. So,
and
like,
Shanks, like, he freaked out a little bit, but no more than, like, you know, he was just like, dude, that's a devil fruit, you're not going to be able to swim anymore, right? So I kind of wonder, sorry, really quick, I get the vibe that Shanks didn't even, like, I don't know. Like, do you think that he went on there because he knew it was important, or was it just like, lol, government ship, let's fuck it up?
Probably, because think about it, right? At the beginning of the series, like, Shanks had that, like, I don't know what it's like in the manga. Yeah, he just
had the chest. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah, he just had that chest with the fruit in it. Yeah.
In the first episode of the anime, like, he had that shit just sitting there on a plate. Like,
yeah.
Sitting there chilling. Just sitting, like, you don't leave an important artifact just chilling on a dinner plate while you're drinking. Like, that's not what you do. So, like, and so, like, to me, like, that's just like ha ha ha. So it's weird now, like, 1,000 chapters later, we're like, oh shit, that fruit's important when Shanks is just chilling, having that shit, like having a beer while that shit's just chilling.
Which is why I almost prefer that, like, I hope it's not even that, like, I hope it's not about the fruit specifically, but rather, like, I don't know, maybe it'll be, like, I like the idea that instead of, like, I'm trying to figure out how to put this, like, I don't want it to be the fruit specifically, but rather the fact that, like, I don't know, something to do with, like, the significance of it, right? Like, I think that'd be the best way to do it. Like, it's not a power that the fruit grants you. It's not that the fruit is powerful. It's just that, like, because we've seen that the world government, they're, like, really obsessed with, like, erasing every piece of resistance to them, right? So, for example, any woman that Roger fucked is like, you're dead. You know what I mean? Like even if you're not, like, if they were going around like, did you fuck Roger, baby? Bam! Like, anything. Anyone that he talked to, I'm pretty sure anyone that he like associated with, they wanted dead, right? So, like, it wouldn't surprise me if, like, really it was just like, hey, this fruit was the fruit of someone significant in the past. It could be Joy Boy. It could be, I don't know, a former member of, no, it's got to be someone that, like, Whitebeard and, like, all the top Marines, like, wouldn't know. Like, it would have to be something so secret that, like, only, like, Im-sama and the Celestial Dragons and, like, but CP9 knows. No, CP9, oh, wait, hold on, no. CP9 doesn't know, they just get orders. So, that could work. So, someone, Im-sama or the Gorosei, or both, put the order down, probably, like, hey, you get that fruit, you bring it back to us. And they're probably like, why? It's just like a random shitty paramecia. And they're like, you don't need to know that. Just do your job, right? So, yeah, hopefully, I think the best way to do it would be it's significant because someone important in the past had it. And there's no special power. It's just we're the government and we got a little PTSD about that Joy Boy shit. And we don't want anyone to ever even have the same power again. You know, kind of in the same way that, like, Luffy saw the Mera Mera no Mi as, like, significant because it was Ace's power, even though it's literally just fire, you know, it's just the power of fire, but he wanted it anyway because he was like, oh, I don't want someone else to have that power because it was Ace's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that'd be the only way to do it that isn't, like, bullshit and annoying. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, like I said, we all trust Oda. I think it's very, I know everyone got hyped about it because it's just like, whoa, what the fuck? His fruit, because it definitely was a surprise. I think that was the biggest thing. Because, like, who's like, I'm like, because the way who said he was pissed. He was like,
one little mistake, and they, like, he was literally their top guy, like, on Rob Lucci level shit, and they're like, they fired him for it, like, banished from that, like, one little thing.
Like, he was at the point to where, like, he was just like, I have, like, a beef with Luffy because he has this fruit. And it's just like, holy shit, like why is this fruit so important now? So, like, maybe it's not that big of a deal as what we're saying, but, you know.
Well, even he says it's not even the fruit itself. It's just, like, you know, it's not Luffy. It's not the power of the fruit. It's just, it, like, reminds me of my failure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? Also, I love, moving on to the fruit part, I love the fact that he was literally, can we not talk about the who's who literally just, like, made Jinbei relive the fact that he was a slave?
Oh, I love that. Just casual racism.
Like, he was just like, if you're gonna ask questions, right? Like, exactly. Like, and that's so funny. It's crazy because, like, I agree with Jinbei, bro, 100%. Like, how the fuck are you gonna sit here and, like, make accusations about me and my people when we've been enslaved for so long? And, like, because, like, I'm gonna be honest, who's who? Low key liberal racism, right there. Literally liberal racism.
Oh yeah, Who's Who is really interesting. Because, you know, I'm literally the peak of One Piece is the CP9 Water 7 Enies Lobby arc. No one will ever fucking convince me otherwise. It's never been that good ever again. Not that it's not been good, but it will never be that good ever again. Maybe end of series, maybe, but like, my God, right? So anytime that a motherfucker shows up doing the Rokushiki shit, I'm like, like, so like that fight, it was quick, but the Jinbei Who's Who fight was top tier. Like, can we talk about the fight, dude?
Most
Holy
of the
shit.
fights were like,
for sure.
Robin.
Well, can we talk about the one at a time real quick? So the Jinbei Who's Who, the fucking finger pistol shit he was doing, like so he took finger pistol, but he did it with like his jaws and his knife and shit. That was such a cool, like, different way to do that. And like he bit and it like went down a level and like was killing people in the bottom level. My God, it was just so good to see. I love that Oda has like kept Rokushiki around. I think that's really cool, and like even incorporated it into like the Straw Hat's powers. You know, like that's why Sanji can fucking fly. You know what I mean? That's what Luffy uses it for Gear Second. All this is still Rokushiki shit. I love that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I really love the fact that a lot of the fights, like, I'm not gonna say the fights were quick, but they still felt One Piece. Like, cause I know the anime is doing really, really well right now.
Yeah. They will, bless you, by the way, they will definitely extend the fuck out of him. I think King of Lightning put it really well. He was like, it feels like in the manga, we are seeing the conclusion of the fights. That's what's being shown. We're seeing the ending of the fights. Whereas in the anime, they're probably going to show all of it. You know what I mean? It's, yeah. So that's basically how I look at it. Because every single fight, it cuts in, and it's implied, or just outright stated, that they've been fighting, like, kind of clashing on and on. Like with Jinbei Who's Who, they were clashing, and then Who's Who was like, all right, I guess I'll go serious now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically what it was for everything. With Robin, Black Maria, she was keeping Robin at bay with like those illusions and shit, and like her goons were like going after her. Yada yada.
Bro, that's fucking insane.
When I turned that page and I was like, excuse me?
I swear to God, bro, that shit's wild. Because, like, I was like, whoa, Robin's mom and shit, right? And then, like, because at first I was like,
there's no way you believed that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I was just like, whoa.
Bro, that would be some disgusting shit if they were just back.
That's
on that fucking Pedro. Oh my God.
That's wild. Awful. That's wild to me.
Oda would never recover.
Not at all. But it's just like, when it comes to that fight, I'd probably say the Robin Black Maria fight's my favorite because I feel like that's one of the first times we've seen like Robin like fight seriously because like the
literally
whole like
since the Sky Island arc, she has the whole making illusions thing, like making like a larger version of yourself, and then just bitch slapping Black Maria, bro. Like, oh my God, that fight, and Brooke like support over there, like Marvel's Capcom, bro.
like,
you know, Brooke's like one of my favorites. Bro, so good. I really enjoyed. Let me try to remember what I was saying. Yeah, so Robin's I think was the best because it felt the most like. It felt personal. Like, you know how Robin didn't have a fight in Enies Lobby because obviously she was like, you know, the target. It felt like if Robin got a fight in Enies Lobby, it would be this, right? Because like, what was so cool about all the Enies Lobby fights, each one of them were really good for, this is another reason why that arc is the best arc in One Piece. Each one of them were really good for the characters, and they also, every single one of the characters got like a massive power up in each, you know what I mean? It felt so monumental to the story. Like Sanji, it was huge for him, and then he got Diablo Jambe. Zoro, that's when he got Ashura. Luffy, you know, Gear Second, Gear Third. Fucking Chopper, Monster Point. Chopper was fucking wild. Yeah, oh my God. Any point being, that's what it felt like because, you know, Frankie's, he used some shit he already had with the exception of the sword, whatever, you know, and that fight, it was fine. It was fun. Nothing new, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Jinbei Who, hold on. Jinbei Who, it was fine, whatever. I really enjoyed the CP9 shit. It was great. What other fights were there? You know, yada yada. But well, yeah, you're right. Robin's new shit was happening. She came out with 2 new powers, and I think out of all the fights, it felt like the most like she was getting her shit rocked. Like Robin was really getting fucked up in that fight.
Yeah, I would probably say like out of all the 3 fights that I saw, I feel like Frankie versus that one bitch, the Rhina. The Rhino nigga, that's probably my least favorite, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny. Like, it was a classic funny One Piece fight. I enjoyed, I think the best part of that fight was the whole, like, he's charging up like he's gonna, like, fucking, you know, do the right towards him, but he goes backwards, and he's just like, I'm just getting a runway, and he's like, bullshit. That was funny. But, yeah, it's just stupid.
Yeah, so, like, the fights have been top tier, and not even counting the queen fight.
Yo, it's
with
being
Sanji,
set up.
like Sanji,
Queen Sanji, King Zoro. It's happening. This is what we've been waiting for. These fights.
That last panel, we're getting closer to see Luffy as the king of the pirates, bro.
Moments where Sanji and Zoro agree on something are so, you know what I mean? Like, they have that moment where they look to each other and it's like, hey, you know, we win here, and, like, we're a fucking step away from all of our dreams coming true. Oh, it's so good. So good.
It's so good. I like it because for the longest time, like, it was King and like we knew King and Queen, you know, will be Zoro and Sanji. Like, I love the fact that I'm sorry. Let me get my thoughts together.
Do it, man.
Because I love the fact that the way Oda did this was so amazing. He didn't snuff Zoro out. And let me explain what I mean by this. We knew when every One Piece arc, the Monster Trio fights the 3 strongest people, and then everyone else fights the lower people, right? Zoro fights the 2nd strongest, Sanji fights the 3rd, and then Luffy obviously fights the strongest, right? What I love about this arc is that they tweaked it a little bit. Zoro and Luffy both fought the strongest. They lost, and they didn't snuff them, and so now he's having Zoro fight evenly with King. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
with the help of essentially the One Piece equivalent of some senzu beans.
Yeah. So it's just like, I love the fact that they didn't snuff Zoro. I know a lot of people will be upset. I know, let's be honest, a lot of people at the beginning of this arc were just like, yes, Luffy versus Kaido. I mean, Zoro versus Kaido. Zoro versus Kaido. And we got that, but now we're getting the usual One Piece formula where it's Sanji and Zoro versus the second two strongest and third.
He was able to give you both. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And also too, like, Zoro got one of the best feats in that Kaido fight. Like, never forget. I honestly think, like, Luffy coming in, learning the fucking crazy Conqueror's Haki technique and all that shit, that was cool. But Zoro blocking the combined attack of Big Mom and Kaido, and like that being the thing that fucked him up so hard, that was incredible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Zoro had some fucking, like, imagine what that's gonna look like in the anime. Oh my god. Oh
yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna extend we're talking like half a chapter per episode type shit right now with the pacing, but that's okay because it's all fighting. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what we wanted, right?
Yeah, I have to go through and binge. I'm such a fucking freak. Like, I prefer. I'll probably, like, because I want to watch it weekly, but like the pacing is so. If I hadn't read the manga, I would love it. But like, because like now that I'm just like waiting for like things in the manga, so I think I'd rather just like binge it because I'm gonna be impatient and want to be like.
I'm just waiting for certain scenes in the anime. To be honest, that's what I do now. Like, if I'm reading.
First big thing I think I want to see animated is, remember that little fight that Luffy had with Ulti? Like, he was like, they were headbutting each other and shit. Like, that was actually like the first, I think, like, long drawn out, because it was like a half a chapter for just that.
You mean the hate fuck that they had, bro?
That stupid fucking banner.
Bro, I saw that shit and I was just like, yes.
Imagine, like, they're standing in the middle of nowhere, like, not leaning or being propped up on anything.
I can just see it be like, oh, just like, come with me. We're evenly matched. I know where we can settle this.
Yeah.
Oh,
the only fucking fanfic I accept with Luffy in it is the one where the girl has to like explain to him how sex works because I refuse to believe that he knows. I'm sorry. He's a baby, dude. He's a little.
Like Luffy like Goku, I guess.
Yeah, dude, the man, never forget when he walked into Hancock and he's like, yo, why you naked? What the fuck? Where's the food at? And then she should have said, your food's right here. Point to the pussy. Okay, I'm just saying.
Or I was going to say the boob, but that works too.
No. Default. Yeah. Have you seen that meme where it's like, this is true character development and like it's pre-time skip Luffy and it's like photoshopped to be like, biting Nami's nipple and then post time skip Luffy and he's like biting the entire boobie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
eating the entire titty.
The way you did that shit, so aggressive.
Oh, dude, I mean, like, I'm just gonna say it. When you get a girlfriend, if you're anything like me, the first thing you'll do is see if you can fit the entire titty in your mouth, and it's not. It's very unless they're quite small. It's not easy. It's not impossible. In fact,
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
it's really tragic because yeah, but I'm talking the entire titty in your mouth.
Yeah, I've tried.
Yeah, I know it's tragic, isn't it?
Yeah, most I can do is just look like bite.
Hentai has ruined you too.
Yeah. That's why you get a girlfriend who also reads hentai. Yo, shout out to Allie, the best girl. All right.
Do you two share tags?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it took me a while to get her. I'm not gonna say it here because it took her like fucking 3 months to finally tell me. But she had like this tag that she liked in hentai that she was super ashamed of, and I was like, dude, it's me. Do you think I'm gonna give a fuck? It could be the worst. It could be like shit stuff, and as long as you don't want me to do it in real life, it's just in hentai, I don't care. It's hentai, it's whatever. And it took like 3 months for her to finally tell me what it was, and then she told me, and I was like, that's not even that bad. And she was like, really? And I'm like, it's nothing. That's so, I don't care. You know how much hentai I've read? I'll tell you fuckers. I'll tell you off. I mean, maybe I won't. I'll ask Allie if I can tell you.
Yes, don't get yourself in the doghouse, Red.
It's so fine. Like, I swear to God, if I told both of you would be like, oh, that ain't shit. That's nothing compared to what I look at.
The lactation, inflation.
She's so wholesome at the same time. She's wow.
That's what you want. That's what you want in a girl.
50-50, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Get you a gremlin. Get you a gremlin.
Yeah. Anyway, what else? So I'm trying to think of other things. Oh my God, I'm dying. What else do we have to? Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry. Anyway, Thurman, other things to talk about in this chunk of One Piece.
Oh, so Luffy forcing. Yes. The one thing I'm talking about, Momo.
Oh, age up, Momo. It's time.
Bro, did we call it? I think we. I don't know if we call that or not, but I love it.
That was a theory that I was hearing a lot, and it makes total sense to me. Yeah.
I love it. So now the question is it permanent or is it?
Here's the thing. She says it's permanent, but it's Oda, right? So like, the theory that I've heard is that we do have there is a character that exists in the One Piece world that can fuck with people's ages, and that would be Jewelry Bonnie.
Yeah.
So, and Mr. Moore, she's a One Piece YouTuber. He's theorized for a while because remember the last time we saw her, she was at the Reverie with Kuma, and it was heavily implied that she basically was fucking Kuma. You know what I mean? Like her and Kuma had like a thing going on. You remember? Like, because Kuma was like the king of a nation, and she was the queen of the same nation, and she's actually much older than she looks. Yada yada yada. So a theory I've heard, it's very out there, is that it's possible that like Kuma could like regain a little bit of sentience and like boop her anywhere, and maybe he boops her here, because that's the only way I can think of that he could like return is if Jewelry Bonnie somehow like got in the middle of this. That's all I can think of. But I would prefer personally for Oda to just have learn to fucking have some permanent consequences in his story and just keep him fucking old, like because he wants to be the fucking Shogun of Wano. Let's do it, baby. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time this shit. Fucking child mind and adult body, and then confuse all of the hentai artists. Like, what do we do? Is this kosher? I don't know.
Because I mean, honestly, that's not to me. It's not really much of a consequence because I would prefer if he aged up anyways. No, but it's a consequence for his character. You don't think? Imagine for a second. Imagine you're he's like 4, dude. Or I don't know how old is he? 5, 6. He's very young. Thurman, can you hear me? Yeah, no. I can see you, bitch. Anyway, so imagine being like 5 years old and then immediately like you're still 5. Nothing in your mind changes, but then you have like the body of like a 25-year-old. Do you realize how like jarring, disjointed, and like the body dysmorphia you'd have, the mental dysmorphia you'd have? Like that would absolutely fuck with you. And obviously, is Oda going to take it that far? Probably not. But he does have Shinobu mention that like you're going to be a child in the body of an adult. And that's going to be weird, and you're going to completely lose out on your childhood, essentially. Again, it does remind me a lot of Ocarina of Time. You've played through Ocarina of Time, right, Thurman? Watched people play through Ocarina of Time? Yeah, I know. I have the general idea of what it is. When he goes into the Temple of Time and pulls out the sword, he
you have to be a certain age to use the sword. So when he pulls out the sword, basically what happens is he's like frozen there in time. He's like frozen and until he's aged up. So then he's still the exact same like 10-year-old, but he's in like an 18-year-old body. And at the end of the game, Zelda's like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. You never got to like mentally grow with your body. You lost out on your childhood, so I'm going to send you back. So I mean, that is a consequence. Like, not all consequences are death. Like, that would be, if he stayed, like, basically it would have to be like, hey, you know, because think about it. Essentially what's happening, because remember, he traveled forward in time. So he is out of sync with his own timeline, if you think about it. He should be, because his sister is 20-something. So he should be as old as she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm like.
So actually, it'd be like correcting a wrong, really. So that's why.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying,
what I mean. That's why I was like.
It makes more sense to stay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, about the consequence. That's why I was talking about like not necessarily a consequence, because he's supposed to be 20 or something anyway. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was like, yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. Everything you're saying is on point.
It's still a consequence because he's losing 20 years of his life. Because think about it. At that point, you would live 20 years. Like, I don't know. I'm just assuming she's going to up him like 20. You would be living 20 less years because he jumped forward in time. And then if he also jumped forward in time 20 years biologically, that's 20 less years he's living.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why I was just like, because he was supposed to be 20 anyway. So like, and
yeah. Oh, I love it.
And essentially, like, it makes a lot of sense for him to be aged up because they can't really wait for him to grow. Because one of the biggest theories that we had, like, who's going to run the country
exactly, yeah,
since he's still a child, right? And so this could solve that problem as well.
Kind of, because he is still, again, mentally a child. That's the weird part. Like, how are they going to do this? Because mentally, he's like 4. You know what I mean?
He had a lot of retainers that can help him with.
Yeah.
It's just more believable now.
Right, he'd be a good figurehead.
Yeah, basically. Like there is no war on bossing Seg level shit.
Yeah. True.
But I mean, but the thing is though, after this arc, Wano's definitely gonna open up. So
there is no Netflix adaptation in Bossing Say.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to see how that goes. I'm trying to think of anything else to talk about. I'm sure there is. I'm just. Oh, Caribou showing up and fucking like having all the food reserves in his feet.
Yeah, he was just like, you have to win, Straw Hat, so I can get off this island too.
I do love that, how he basically like he has like months of food stored in him so he could just like survive, and like I like that he basically placed his bet here. He's like, all right, my best chance of surviving is by betting it all on Luffy. And I love that. Like, people that in the past tried to kill this man are like, yeah, you're kind of like our best hope right now. Also, never forget that Caribou still has knowledge of an ancient weapon. So, you know, if he ever somehow gets around Kaido and Big Mom who want that knowledge, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Also, if Kaido and Big Mom are going to get defeated, this arc, I'm still waiting for the inevitable next arc problem, Blackbeard, to just swoop in and do some shit. You know, maybe as Kaido and Big Mom are getting defeated, Blackbeard's, you know, getting some intel, like stealing their intel a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, remember, CPO's still here.
True. Dudes, I'm telling you, this arc's got a Thriller Bark ending coming up, man. Like a fucking like, yay, we won!
The Straw Hats have been annihilated again.
Yeah, for the 3rd time. That's good. I'm telling you, I need it. Like, if they're gonna, because there was a theory that Mr. Morge had for a long time, because he felt like while this arc was good, it didn't have like enough stakes. Like you know, it hasn't felt as intense as like, you know, Annie's Lobby or Marineford, and it was hyped up to be that intense, right? So, you know, if the fights are going, you know, this relatively quickly, and, you know, there's not like as big a stakes as we thought, then maybe the stakes will come in the form of, hey, we have a really hard fight against Kaido and Queen and King. Because I imagine these Tobi Roppo fights were just kind of an excuse to give fights to the lower ranking members of the Straw Hats. I'm imagining King, Queen, and Kaido are going to be like the type of fights where like these characters almost die, right? Like Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy are gonna, I think, walk out of these fights not even walk. They're not gonna walk. They're gonna be like, barely standing. Essentially, is what I'm hoping for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't think, how long has it been since we saw like, well, I guess Zoro's been extra fucked, but like I'm talking like a fight where we're like, oh my god, are they gonna live through this? You know what I mean? Like I would love to see that.
Yeah, it might take a minute, because, excuse me, like we haven't. I think we're at a point right now to where like we're not like, because there's still the sense of imminent danger because Kaido's still running around, but Kid and Law are fighting Big Mom still. Don't forget that.
True. Oh yeah, we have to talk about the Killer versus Hawkins in just a second too.
Oh yeah. Killing his own captain. Killer's like, you have me hit my own captain?
That's
Say
great.
less. That's that minority shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, what, you're making me hit my own teammates? Interesting.
Yeah. No, what you failed to understand, Hawkins, is that Killer is into that.
Yeah, he's like some little sadism. He'll apologize later.
Yeah, no, I feel like Kid, it is funny though. Kid has been like portrayal wise, Kid has been so fucked this arc. Like out of every fight, he's like always the one doing like nothing.
I'm happy they're actually giving Law and Kid the fight to Big Mom. I hope that he doesn't off screen that
please
either.
Please show that, please.
Because that's actually really good. That's really
cool.
I'd be even happy if they were the one who defeated Big Mom. I'd be totally okay with that.
Yeah, I mean they're Luffy's main rivals.
And they're supernovas too. Because that means that remember, Kid for whatever reason wanted to go after Shanks, so this could be a stepping stone for that.
And remember too, fucking Big News Morgans was like, hey, the people that I think have the best chance of becoming Pirate King, all the supernovas. So I mean, he placed them on the same level as Luffy until he called Luffy the Fifth Emperor. But. Yeah, I think the last thing too, I feel as though we're entering the final stages of this arc because we've got the trademark thing of a One Piece arc, which is a countdown that it's finally started now. We have the 15 minutes until Onigashima is over the flower capital, right? You know what I mean? You saw that in the last chapter, which means because remember what Kaido is trying to do, he's literally trying to float this bitch over the heavily populated, dense capital of Wano, where literally everyone is right now. Even the poor people are all there because they're all partying there. He just wants to just drop it like a fucking rock on a pile of bugs. You know what I mean? Like, so it would quite literally be like all of them just dead if he did that. So I think that's how this arc is going to end. We're going to have Luffy and Kaido fighting up there as the island's about to fall down. You might have adult Momo go into his huge dragon form and like try to lift the island with his own clouds. I see a lot of stuff going on there, and it's probably going to be very intense and epic for the final bit of this arc here. But yeah, I think that's what I want to see with the remainder of this arc. I think going forward, we need a badass King, Queen, Zoro, Sanji fight where they get extra fucked up. Super good character development for both these characters. I would love it. Maybe I think with Zoro, you could have him turn one of his swords into a black blade because that's been foreshadowed. You know what I mean? Like the Mihawk style. Like, and I think the one to do it with would be his Wado Ichimonji, the one that he got from his friend, Kuina. Because that's the one he's been with that sword the longest. He's got the most connection with that sword. I think that'd be very cool. You know what I mean? And then I think with Sanji, I don't know how much of the fight is going to be in the raid suit, how much is going to be out of the raid suit. It's interesting because Queen obviously worked with Sanji's dad. Queen was in, and through Sanji's fight, we might learn more about Vegapunk too, because Queen worked with Vegapunk, with Caesar, with Sanji's dad, like all the scientists. The Queen was in a group with them, so like we might get some interesting shit about that with Sanji, especially when he puts the raid suit on. Queen might be like, oh, that fucking judge Vin Smoke, So I could see a lot of cool things with that. And then, of course, the final fight with Luffy Kaido is going to be crazy. I hope we get the Big Mom stuff, of course. And then I think ending off with a badass Thriller Bark-esque ending where I think you're going to have CP0 doing shit and possibly Blackbeard doing shit. And it's going to be fucking cool. So, yeah. Final thoughts for you.
Yeah, everything you just said.
All right.
Pretty much.
Glad to be back with the One Piece reviews on YouTube.
So no rating this week
because it's 17 chapters we're talking about.
not even just that. I've been I know people do not look forward to my ratings, but I still do them anyways. But
finally break Thurman here.
No. I'll still do them, but because this is the stream level. You know, I'm kind of like maybe next week I'll start my ratings back.
It doesn't feel right. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe next week you'll see the rating again.
All right.
When you see something like structure.
With that, peace. I guess I'll upload this tomorrow or something. Yeah. Peace.